right. Welcome back, everyone, to another night with Adventurers Anonymous. This is going to be our last session for the month of February, as next week we will be off. We will have our regularly scheduled Journeys into Arturi on the same bat time at the same bat channel. And I don't think we have much in the way of announcements. Although, important question, Doomy, how many days until the release of the new Ghostbusters movie?
33.
Excellent.
Same number of days until the new Dragon's Dogma game.
There we go. There we get Dragon Busters. Who needs Barbenheimer when you can have Dragon Busters? Although everybody knows Eternal Horizons was Barbenheimer. When we had left off, our intrepid band had varying strategies to address the problem that they were facing. Everyone had pretty much unanimously agreed to use Dispel Magic with mixed results, is what we'll call it. And so we pick up with most of our groups, most of our players back at the castle, having reconvened with Zypher, having addressed their issues. Scratch and Augie had a delightful race back to the castle upon their steeds. Scratch nosing his way into victory. And not a single underhanded tactic was used. No one cheated. Absolutely not. Our captain and our first mate would never do those things.
Dirty kobold tactics.
Only when I'm being watched.
And Rain and Yurei had collected the townspeople closest to the castle into the underbelly, into the chambers, where Zypher, in a rather prominent display, assisted them in dispelling magic and tending to people. Lachlan and Kyrius, having more adventures in the woods, had an encounter with a shadow of some kind. Cold, frigid shadow spirit that attempted to persuade them away from their course. But our brave heroes endeavored instead to continue on the path that they had chosen. With, interesting results. Kyrius and Lachlan, having dispelled magic for the charm on most of the town, are now in pursuit of a group who are fleeing from the town towards the south. And unfortunately, we do not have Kyrius here tonight. Lachlan, is there like a cliff notes for what you want to do? Because I don't want to throw you in without your RP partner.
Well, basically, I should be traveling at a pretty high speed, which means I should be able to catch up to the people who are going on foot, and I'm just going to land in front of the party and kind of try and, as per strategy, get close enough to have a bunch of people within range and then cast spell.
Are you able to cast spells while you've been polymorphed, or do you have to...
Oh, it would be like badass drop from less than 10 feet and like get rid of polymorph as I do that.
Okay.
You
Wasn't Kyrius riding you?
Kyrius is technically in my claws.
He's being dangled. Yes, and because you are carrying Kyrius, you are actually flying slower than your maximum speed. Because he is, heavy. He does have some, heft. So
I'm a large creature. My carrying capacity should be able to take a medium creature without slowing me down.
Right, but you don't live as a giant eagle. You live as a vague approximation of a humanoid.
Uh-huh.
Probably aren't used to carrying things in this form, so...
So moving at 40 feet a turn instead of 80 feet a turn?
Yeah. You're still moving faster than the group, but you're not, you're not charging ahead in a blaze of glory kind of thing. But you are moving faster than the group because this is mostly women and children, and they're trying to stay together. So they would also be moving at a slower pace. Nobody's quite at their max capacity at the moment. How high up would you have been flying?
It seems reasonable that I would be maybe 60 to 120 feet off the ground.
Okay. And you have Kyrius in your claws. Are you holding him by like his clothing? Are you holding him by his shoulders?
It would be like underneath the like shoulders under and hooking around underneath the arms.
Okay. So for landing, would you drop Kyrius? Would you try?
I would.
How is landing gonna work?
I would swoop down, basically have maybe like 6 feet above the ground when I drop Kyrius, and then I would drop Polymorph myself.
Okay. So you're coming down to disengage with Kyrius. I would probably have to have him make some kind of roll, but he's not here, so I'm just gonna say he does the cool tuck and roll kind of thing and pops up in a hero pose.
He does have proficiency with dexterity saves.
Exactly, I'm not concerned. You, on the other hand, Doctor Good Doctor, as you come down for Polymorph, I need you to go ahead and give me an acrobatics check to see how you stick the landing. Okay. So you come down, you depolymorph, you stumble, and unfortunately you land flat on your face.
Mm-hmm.
You don't take any injuries. You're not in, no wound to anything other than your pride, but you definitely have the group's attention.
I'm in front of the group. I hold up my hands and I say, "You've been affected by a curse. I wish to fix it."
Do you speak Ancient Undercommon?
I believe I still have tongues up, unless it's been an hour. It's not concentration.
When did you cast that? Let's see. Right, so when you would have cast tongues, you would have cast it on Kyrius, and nobody would be getting close enough to you to let you touch them, because that's a touch spell.
No, I had it cast on myself.
Right, but that grants you the ability to understand them, but they don't understand you. Because you don't speak Ancient Undercommon, so they don't know what you're saying.
When the target speaks, any creature that knows at least one language and can hear can understand what it says.
Correct.
They understand me.
No, they don't. You cast the spell on yourself, right?
Yes, I am the target of that spell. Which means that when I speak, any creature who understands at least one language can understand what I say.
Oh, yep, you're correct. I was reading that wrong. I can't read today, apparently, either. Okay, so the guards at the front of the group come to a stop, and they're probably about 30 to 40 feet away from you. They have weapons pointed at you, but they're not, like, charging at you. They're definitely in defensive positions.
Do you need a persuasion check for my statement?
Please.
My rolls are just great today.
Yeah, they're definitely, they've taken a much tighter position in front of the people that they're standing in. They haven't said anything to you. They haven't responded, but they're definitely looking at you with suspicion.
So the guards are 30 feet away. Where's the back of the group in comparison?
With how small the road is, and you guys are on the ground, probably when you would have seen it, they would have been more spread out. This probably would have been originally, with how many people there are, this was probably originally about 100-foot caravan.
Mm-hmm.
But they've kind of bunched up a little bit, so I'd say from your position, you can't see the back of the group. But if you want to give me an int check real quick, I can see if you'd be able to puzzle it out.
Now, I have a +5 to this, so we're going to roll an 8.
Don't worry, I wasn't really concerned. It was a really low DC just because you had a higher vantage point. So yes, you have a pretty good guess that everyone would be within your spell range. You don't know for sure though, but you're guessing.
I'm gonna say you'll thank me for this when you wake up, and I'm going to dispel magic. It looks like level 4.
Okay.
If they wake up.
Hey, if not, I put down the dissonance.
Okay. Yes.
If they don't, I can think of another thing that's going to be put down. And I don't think you're going to like.
So yes, you cast the spell, the magic whooshes out of you, and you watch as the people drop.
I would like to state, as I did previously, I am targeting specifically the enchantment.
Okay. And yeah, the people, they go down. As far as you can tell, you have dispelled the enchantment.
For the record, Kyrius does have an issue with this, and he did want to talk to me about it, but
Yep.
character player not here, so
Yeah, and under different circumstances, there have been other things going on here, but I didn't want to just delay too much because I know he's not going to be here tonight, which is fine.
I'm gonna go over and I'm going to check one of the guards.
Okay. What are you checking for?
I'm going to kind of like shake their shoulder, look for any sign of like they don't have any like physical things, but they are undead and they have a lot of traits that kind of would show if they were dead, probably. So like fluttering eyelids, twitching fingers, that kind of thing.
Okay, go ahead and give me a medicine check.
I'm also going to cast the light spell and open up one of their eyes to see if their pupils dilate.
Okay. Okay.
Yay!
So
More than 10.
So, just for which eyelid do you check first?
Well, the idea would be to check both because if they have had a brain problem, then one eyelid would dilate more than the other. But I will
Right.
check left first and then right.
Okay. On this particular person, when you checked the left eyelid, the pupil does respond, and when you check the right eyelid, this person does not have a right eye.
Well, that's not my problem. Curious. They are.
Contract at. With that roll, I will go ahead and give you. You recognize that this is a pretty standard response. You, in a perfect world, you'd be able to check both, but this pupil does seem to be contracting and expanding at what you recognize a normal humanoid rate.
They're undead. Well, none of their necromantic magic was dispelled. They'll wake up probably with a nasty hangover or a headache.
Tyreus would probably come over and just help you check, being his normal, quiet, studious, broody self.
About this time, do I notice my guild talk ring flashing?
Yes, but at this point, since you actually, have hands, you definitely would be noticing your ring flashing.
I'll rub it and hear the message. Oh no. How many hours since Scratch got back to the castle?
That's a good question. Since they got back to the castle, probably I'm thinking if anyone can smell burning oil, it's me trying to get my hamster to work. I'm trying to figure out the convergence of my timelines. For Scratch, so Yurei and Rain have been at the castle the longest. They've probably been there 3-4 hours. Scratch and Augie have probably been there 2-ish.
Scratch, you would hear a kind of out of breath Lachlan in your head. Fixed town, on our way back. We'll be there in a little over an hour, probably.
Okay.
I'm going to try and rouse the guard.
Okay. Give me another medicine check.
I'm going to be following the doctor's RABC and cows. We have no danger in the area, as I was the danger. We have the airways aren't clogged. They're not breathing, but that's to be expected.
Okay. You can tell that as you're trying to rouse this person, he's very slowly coming to, and it's almost like he's waking up after being like heavily sedated. Is the closest thing your mind can compare it to.
Can you hear me?
He's really sluggish. He kind of shakes his head and just kind of, what happened? Where are we?
You're about 20 minutes brisk walk from town. There was a curse, an enchantment that was cast over your village by an interloper, a minstrel, I believe. It was brought to our attention by King Zypher and the sprites of the forest.
Okay. Did you guys catch the maniac that was on the loose? Did he run this way? Do you know anything about that?
The maniac on the loose?
We were trying
No.
to evacuate the town. Somebody was screaming something about a mad wizard and a green man trying to kill us all.
Probably an effect of the enchantment. Possibly to sow further dissent and create an amount of panic that would destabilize the kingdom. But you've done very well, guard. You helped these people, and you should make sure that they're roused, give them plenty of water, and take them back to town.
We will. You kind of see him kind of lean over, and he kind of smacks his companion, and you see the companion kind of doing the same thing, kind of like he's being pulled out of a stupor. And you can see behind them, people are kind of up and moving. And the guard kind of rubs his face, and he kind of squints at you, Lachlan.
I just, but like, whilst he was rubbing his face, I'm gonna tap Kyrius's cloak and turn it blue.
Okay.
How?
Prestidigitation, you can adjust the color of an object. Or perhaps minor illusion. Which one was that? I'm gonna say minor illusion, it's easier.
So for minor illusion, what kind of image are you creating?
I am creating an exact image of Kyrius's cloak, but in a deep royal blue.
Okay.
And it should hide his other cloak.
Okay. And I need you to go ahead and give me a deception for what you were telling the guard. Is he kind of like is kind of looking at you and kind of looking back to Kyrius?
Is there anything I can do to give myself advantage? No, I don't believe there is.
I don't think so. I can't think of anything.
That's not the worst.
Okay. So the guard kind of looks at you, Lachlan, and kind of looks over to Kyrius. And then he kind of looks at you again and just goes, oh, I'm so glad that you and your companion were here to help us. You were sent by the king, right?
Yes. He noticed an enchantment over the land, and ourselves and some of our party members were sent to go and assist with the breaking of that spell, so that you can be free of his influence, of the influence of the minstrel.
All right. Well, thank you for that. My companions and I are going to start escorting our people back to the town to file an official report with the king, letting him know all of the information that we've learned.
Excellent, excellent. What was your name, soldier?
Pardon my rudeness, sir, but, that's not the kind of information we normally freely give out around here for safety reasons, as I'm sure you understand.
Yes. I was simply wanting to pass on your accomplishments to Zypher. Can I have your rank and your do you have numbers?
No, we don't have numbers. Let him know, Sergeant Riss of Maristown. He'll know.
Understood. Have a lovely day.
Of course. You and your blue-cloaked companion as well. And you see him turn and he helps his friends up, and you hear him talking to the other guards about what you had discussed and them slowly helping the people up and tending to everyone. And it takes a little while, and you start to see everyone slowly making their way back down the road towards the town.
I just breathe a sigh of I just let out all of the tension in my body and go, we'd better fly back to the castle.
Do we have to fly, or would it be better if we walk?
Flying would be faster. Or I can be a horse for you.
As long as I don't think about it too hard, horse should be fine.
I kind of stamp my foot on the ground as I morph into a lovely dark chestnut horse.
Okay. Kyrius hesitates just for a moment before climbing up on your back.
Can we also assume that Kyrie is good at animal handling for like riding and shit?
He's a ranger. If he was here, I'd be making him roll things, but I figure he's not here. I'm not going to be too mean to him.
Yeah, I just figured that the polymorph doesn't come with a saddle.
No, I figured Kyrius. That's why Kyrius is trying really hard not to think about it. He's trying really hard not to think about the fact that he's currently riding Lachlan bareback.
Sorry.
Okay, we'll gallop back to the citadel, and if you like, you can move along to another person if there's any other RP or anything that needs to be done.
Are you taking the established road, or are you going straight through the forest?
We went through the forest before. I think it would probably be faster. We could always hook around on the plains here.
It's entirely up to you. Like it'll change how long it takes you to get where you're going depending on which way you go. That's the only reason I'm asking.
Do I know which is faster?
Well, when you guys had come in, you had come in from about the direction you're at now. So you know that at least going by carriage, going down past the other town would take longer, but you wouldn't know just going on as a sprinting horse.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go through the forest. We know the way through the forest, and both Carius and myself are deft hands with tracking and nature, so
Okay.
we wouldn't be concerned about that.
All right. Yes. So we'll switch over to Scratch and Augie and Rain and Yurei, while you and Carius make your way home. And the four of you have been recollected into the study that Zypher had brought you into, the same area that had originally had the maps of his territory, where you had conveniently brought the Yurei cardboard cutout, which is still there, by the way.
Excellent.
And Zypher has different maps laid out now, still poring over maps. And there is a collection of fruits and wine, finger sandwiches, just kind of general tea time, lunchy, brunchy, snacky stuff. And the four of you have been recollected. Zypher is addressing things, and Rain, he has been talking to you and Yurei when Scratch and Augie would come in about what had happened with the people and what you guys had learned.
You're just upset that I won the race.
You didn't win. You cheated.
I didn't cheat.
You
Magic's not
did.
cheating.
It was established prior to us even taking off that we weren't going to use magic. We were just going to use the horse's strength.
No, it was discussed. I never agreed.
Well, then the whole thing is null and void.
Yep, that's what someone who lost the race would say.
Mr. Scratch. Diabolical.
Is
Diabolical.
Is it safe to assume your endeavors were successful?
If
Go
by we rid the town of magic that was influencing them and figured out who did it and where they went, then yes, we were successful. If you meant successful as in physically stopping the problematic individual, unfortunately, we were not successful in that.
That we know of.
That we know of.
Fair enough. You were successful helping my people, and that is my priority. Your companions were just telling me about their endeavors as well, so as we wait for your other two, I thought they were supposed to be back by now.
They're on their way.
Yeah. There are a couple of individuals that get sidetracked.
Fair enough. But yes, if you'd like to join us for some light refreshments and perhaps compare notes to what happened, that way we can learn, hopefully, more about how to avoid this in the future. Rain, you were telling me of something your father had done. Something, we had gone over the simulacrum. You'd then been discussing what was it, the alliance your father wanted?
Yep.
You
I've actually been kind of waiting to hear back from him about the exact details.
Oh, yes, fair enough. Magic can be a rather temperamental in my castle if you're not me, so I do apologize for that.
Well, since the others aren't here yet, let me go and try to, initiate correspondence.
Of course. And you, Yurei, you were telling me about the information you had learned regarding the individual. Do you have any details, anything specific you'd like to share that maybe your captain and your first mate would be able to corroborate?
Well, if it's anything like the reports we're hearing about an individual playing a violin, some stringed instrument, basically gathering citizens and causing dissent, telling them that you are not a fit ruler or a false king. I have an idea on who it is.
Any theories you care to share? Or Scratch, you and Augie had. You said you had been tracking an individual. Do you have any details?
They went topside.
Look, I mean, we all really have to know that it was Opal or somebody that looked like Opal.
That was my thoughts.
I thought it was obvious.
And Opal is my nephew, correct? Brother of the drunkard?
Yeah, yeah. Tanzanite. And he left out of the crossing to the upside in the direction that we were sent out. We tracked him all the way to the passage.
Directly to the surface access?
Directly.
Oh dear. Oh, that's going to impact my trade routes.
It
What were you
has me
saying, Tra-
wondering something.
Has me wondering many things.
Well, seems awfully convenient when we finish up our original business and begin to say that we're going to leave and retrieve this ship and go back on our quest, that suddenly this stuff happens. Stuff which, and no offense to be given, but you, someone who's supposedly very powerful and cares so much about his people, can't handle on his own and asks us to take care of it. Just seems suspicious to me.
Technically, we volunteered.
If your memory serves you correctly, little kobold, you remember, originally I did not want your aid. You volunteered yourselves into my good graces. As far as my involvement, your other party members have pointed out to me the flaws in my ruling style as of late. As far as handling this myself, I could have. I intended to. But your ever charismatic first officer persuaded me to allow you to handle this. I assure you, I want nothing more than the lot of you to leave my kingdom and never come back. However, things are happening around you, because of you, to you, whatever it may be. That sounds more of it's your issue than mine.
Scratch just kind of turns his head, looks up at Augie.
I mean, yeah, the original finding out what the problem is, we did, and now we did, and so we're good to go.
Best news I heard all day. So as soon as Lachlan and Kyrios get here and are able to make their report, we can get back on track.
Mm-hmm.
Scratch waits through the awkward silence for a minute. Where are those two?
Still waiting on them.
Ah. Scratch sits down on the floor and starts tinkering with things from his bag.
At about this point, Lachlan, would you have polymorphed back from a horse, or would you just ride into the castle?
Depends. How long was the ride?
About an hour.
Okay, I did have to cast at a level 5, which I don't think increases the time that the spell takes effect. Yeah. I'm gonna say for pure comedy's sake, I wasn't keeping track of the time, and basically as we reach the gates, my polymorph wears off. Like I flash 3 times a bright white color, and then I'm just tangled mess of arms with Kyrios on top of me.
Poor Carius. This is not going well for
Time
him.
for y'all to be canoodling. I mean, congratulations. But
So, yes, Lachlan, the guards kind of see you and Kyrius charging up, and then you blink 3 times, and then you turn back into yourself, and they just kind of very pointedly look away. Before one of
What?
them, before as you guys kind of detangle, before coming over and standing at attention.
You never seen a man riding a horse before?
Is that what they
That's
call it now?
that isn't. We didn't say anything, sir. Just wondering if you would like us to escort you into the Lord's study where the rest of your companions have gathered.
That would be wonderful, thank you.
Neither one of these guards are looking at you guys. They just very pointedly turn and are just like walking into the castle, into the study.
I miss my hooves.
does
And that's
you to get
that
above ground?
that would be what I say as I enter this study. I miss my hooves. Hello, everyone.
Oh, see, there they are. Wonderful.
Lord, what took you so long?
Had to tie up loose ends.
Life or death?
I was an eagle.
I don't have an answer to that argument.
The town to the west is cured of the enchantment. The forest sprites told us a bit of information about what was happening. Basically, they were no longer coming in, leaving offerings, or communing with the forest, and we thought that was probably a bad sign. Said it happened around the same time that a shadowy minstrel came in, and yeah, that kind of put 2 and 2 together. Oh, by the way, the apprentice is projecting shadow versions of himself now, or aspects of his soul. I'm not really sure.
Cool. I mean, like how do we know that? What happened?
They came and one of them came and was like, "Yo, if you don't stop doing what you're doing, then I'ma do what I do." And yeah, it was an unpleasant conversation. Terrible conversationalist, really.
Isn't that great, Mr. Scratch?
Yes. Report over. Mission successful. Pack up your things, everybody.
I say, oh, it was Sergeant Reese, wasn't it?
Riss.
Or Riss.
Ryss.
Sergeant Riss from the town where I was sent to the west. He did very well. He deserves a promotion.
Zypher just studies you for a moment, Lachlan, just nods. When he arrives to give his report, I will ensure that he is appropriately compensated.
Excellent, excellent. And that report, you may hear word of a mad wizard. I have no idea what that's about.
Please roll me a deception.
Oh, perfect.
Excuse me.
Just for my personal peace of mind. Okay.
Excellent. Oh, this is great. Zypher says nothing to you, Lachlan. He just kind of, well, after a moment, I will ensure that no reports of mad wizards were understated or exaggerated either way.
Can I make an insight?
Please do.
I just imagine Kyrie's is staring daggers into the back of my head.
Oh, is absolutely his hood is pulled down, but Lachlan, you can feel it. You definitely know. You definitely can figure out that Lachlan's bullshitting something.
You are hiding something, Doctor. But this is not the time or place, I think, to worry about that. Hopefully.
Well, yes, of course. I hide many things as doctor-patient confidentiality.
Carius grumbles something about other kinds of confidentiality, and then just goes over to Brood in a corner and grabs a bowl of fruit.
Are there any lemons?
There was nothing that you specifically recognize as a lemon.
I say to Scratch. So we wanted to get on the road, right? Pretty much as soon as possible.
Yes, actually, we still have to go and retrieve the ship, and I haven't figured out what our best course of action is for that, because last I knew our ship was kind of an impound with that scary lady in her white rooms.
Shouldn't that be fixed by the Queen now being our friend?
One would hope.
Are you talking about Tethea?
Uh-huh.
Honestly, if you're connected in any way, shape, or form to the joke that they call a court, you should be fine. As far as the scary woman with the white rooms, I don't know how to help you with that, but potentially if you can get in touch with my brother, he could probably do something. He's got connections into Thea to just about everything.
I mean, I could also connect her to an explosive, but
Mrs. Scratch.
Explosives can be dangerous, and you can do undue damage to the property around you.
it's the white rooms, I don't care.
Mr. Scratch, we don't need to be doing undue damage
Undo!
at the moment.
Poison works better, Scratch.
They kidnapped us. They locked us apart in different rooms and interrogated us for Colonel Mac knows how long. What do you mean
we're talking
undo?
about that lady. Fuck her up.
See?
I have an excess of
Do not enjoy that woman.
I have an excess of insulin if we want to give her a really bad day.
I don't know what that does.
Oh, it takes all of the blood, all of the sugar out of your blood, so that you starve to death. With even though you're eating.
Well, that seems.
That seems excessive.
Yeah, well.
But I'm not saying I don't like it.
Right. I personally would love to. Shit. I don't know. Just beat the ever loving daylights out of this woman.
No, she's the one that took the ship.
Did she give you any indication that your ship would not be returned to you, or any indication that she would need to be, that it would be held?
I mean, it's not like they let us go. We kind of escaped. Probably according to them illegally.
Why were you arrested? I mean, as far as your lot goes, he just kind of gestures vaguely at all of you. As far as this goes, I can think of more social violations than any of you would commit outside of potentially one or two. But as far as actual law breaking, I'm pretty sure your first mate might actually have an aneurysm if anyone tried to commit an actual crime in their presence.
Well, see, we were giving free thinking to the princess, and that wasn't okay, apparently.
And even after we uncovered a plot, there was this really pompous asshole, and he stole the crown jewels, and we uncovered it, and some thanks we got.
They don't like us because we foiled them.
Fair enough. Oh, when you leave, are you taking the dog and the metal octopus with you?
Yes. Is Brucius okay?
He's perfectly fine. He's been a research assistant for the tall metal one in red. Halstrom, I think his name is.
Scratch was busy leaning over and whispering to Augie, "When did we get a metal octopus? I didn't build it."
Talking about Halstrom?
Yes, I believe that's his name. Are you taking him with you?
Not if we can help
Doesn't he
it.
have more than more than 8 limbs?
If we can help it.
He's got a few mechadendrites. I think he's up to, if we count his arms and legs, he's at. He's got the medical one, the tools, the gun. He's not at 8 yet, so he's more of a metal squid.
So he has 2 arms and 10 tentacles. Sorry, 2 tentacles and 10 arms.
I mean, honestly, he doesn't really follow my orders all that well. Kind of does his own thing. So, I mean, kind of up to him if he stays or goes.
I don't think the ship runs without him.
Figure.
I mean, it did before.
Yeah, but he's done all of that crazy stuff with the wiring, where it's
Well,
sort of alive.
we'll just go get another flabbercaster and it'll all be fine.
Just imagining the
What?
machine spirit being really pissed off.
You took my boyfriend away.
It's okay. We don't believe that that actually exists anyway.
No, we don't.
Heresy!
We just let him talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're welcome to leave him here if you like.
Oh,
But
we
the
got to
dog
go
seems
with him.
rather attached, so I have a sneaking suspicion the dog will want to stay.
Okay. Well,
You're not? Well, it's his choice.
Brutus liking Halstrom better than Lachlan? That does not seem like a thing.
Being underground changes people.
I just want to smash cut to Brutus, like, just bringing stacks of books to Halstrom, just balancing on his head.
Oh, that's absolutely what's going on right now. Halstrom is in like the Royal Library going over stuff. He has one of those like the big book rotate things that's like what do you mean you have 7 tabs open? And it's the big wheel of books. He's got like 3 of those, and Brutus just like bounding over with books. Absolutely. There's like sitcom music going on and everything.
Halstrom speed reading.
Basically, they're playing fetch.
Yeah. Because Halstrom would probably be saying, fetch me this, fetch me that, and Brutus is just on it.
I found this one. It's got weird writing on it. It's all jaggedy and squiggly. I think it was done by people with claws.
Can I use a nature check to try and discern what time of day it actually is?
Go for it. Scratch, with all of your knowledge of the underground and being able to recognize the changes in temperature and pressure for how everything goes, right now it is probably getting towards what your surface friends would recognize as into the evening. Things are going to start shutting down, closing up. You can tell this based on the barometric pressure in the cave. It's getting to be dark. Things are cooling off above ground.
So, how do we get topside from here when we're ready to go? Is there a road? Is there a magical shortcut?
I mean, I suppose I can teleport all of you. You can take the surface access tunnel, or you can go back through the back entrance that you came in.
That was
So
a
that's
long
a
walk.
You could come with us to.
Collecting some more of that sky water. I had to give some to the forests.
No.
You could come with us to meet your brother.
No.
No.
As you and Rain have pointed out, I need to be more active in my kingdom. I will reunite with my brother in the future, but for now, I should focus on being the involved, active leader my people need. It's time I step out of my castle and be a presence again, so that what happened today doesn't happen again. Or, if it does happen again, I will know better and I can handle it quicker. Besides, from everything you've told me, I doubt my brother would be thrilled to see me.
I don't think they're going to be thrilled to see us either.
Honestly, I don't think they've been thrilled in years.
We could change that.
Easy.
Sorry.
Honestly, just the fact that you've reconnected with me and the fact that I'm not the deranged lunatic I once was. Truly, I think that's going to help, and probably keeping Tanzanite safe and saving Opal will probably be the best ways to make old Fuddy Duddy crack a smile.
Oh,
Well,
talking about the same.
Technically, by technicality, he is my older brother.
Oof.
So technically, he's older than I am, and therefore old.
But you're old too.
Yes. I'm the younger of the twins. Clearly, I'm the more charming and handsome one. Haven't you been paying attention, Doctor?
Augie's eyes shift.
well, by my
How do you think one comes into power for 5,000 years without being charming, handsome, and charismatic?
Augie coughs.
I'm sorry, what were you saying, Scratch?
Well, now I want to say something else.
Go for it.
You mean it wasn't because you were the life of the party?
No. I appreciate your humor, Kobold, but no, you'll find that Rylan was much more the life of the party than I was. Actually involved with people, talking to people, not books.
But everyone else down here is dead.
Not anymore. It's
Agree to
simple-
disagree.
It's a simple skin condition.
By my approximation, up on surface, it's probably almost evening, so I think we should get rested, gather up our things, and hopefully our gracious skincare host would send us back up topside in the morning.
Skin care host. What?
He said that the zombies were a skin condition. They're
They
not
aren't
all
zombies.
bangers, okay? These are the jokes.
Really, I felt the jokes were more of my apprentice, but I digress.
Trust me, there can be more than one joke. Take Scratch, for example.
I will separate you from your toes.
You will
This is how
try.
Lachlan gets thrown off the boat or over an ocean.
I will drop a ship on you.
I'll drop a whale on you.
Can you polymorph into a whale? I think the CR might be a little high.
Girls, you're both average.
But yes, as far as rest goes, of course, you are still welcome to stay in the chambers I have prepared for you. If you do opt to leave the octopus and the dog, just let me know. I can have permanent rooms for them established.
Does you have anybody with the capability to scry?
Besides myself,
That would be great, actually. So I was thinking about things, and since we don't exactly know where the ship is, I do have an idea on how to find the ship.
would you like me to scry it?
Not the ship. He reaches down into his bag and pulls out a jar with a little bit of green residue in the bottom.
Lol.
That's right. Squish is still running loose in the ship.
Uh-huh.
York is back there as well.
Yorick is back there as well, and Squish has yet to be recontained.
So,
Oh god, the
Yes.
floating skull trying to corral the slime.
this is my friend Squish's house jar, and I know if you have a piece of someone's body, it's easier to scry on them. He's a slime,
Yes.
by the way.
I gathered. I'll be honest, it has been a while since I've done any sort of scrying magic, but I can absolutely give it a shot. And he holds his hand out for the jar.
Scratch reluctantly hands over the jar.
Scratch, you got more at home. Let it go.
But he's always had
I-
this one.
I assure you, Kobold, your jar will be fine. And Zypher pops the cork out and kind of swipes a finger inside to collect some of the slime.
It's a great vintage.
I can tell. Yes, as far as scrying goes, I absolutely can try.
I just hopefully Squish is outside somewhere where we could figure something out. Because if he's like in a pipe or like below decks, we're not gonna really learn much.
This is
Well,
when he
then why
discovers-
don't we scry on something guaranteed to be in a certain place?
Can we
This
scry
is-
on objects?
This is when he
We had
discovers
crew
that
members.
Squish has gone off to Las Vegas and is now 4 cards deep in a poker, and it's now 4 rounds deep in a poker tournament.
Yeah. I mean, what's always above deck?
We have crew members. One of them was a lookout most of the time.
Right, but we have to give Zypher something
Yeah, but if
to use to find them. So if we don't have anything of theirs.
At this point, Rain would probably walk back in after communing.
Yes.
What about the figurehead? It's a personification of the ship, while also being a specific thing. Could argue that it's a person.
I mean, if there's any reality to what Hallstrom says about machine spirits, I suppose that the ship would technically be a creature for the purpose of the spell. So Rain's idea may work. But I would assume if the crew were still on the if the ship is in impound, the crew's not going to be on the ship. They probably got them locked up somewhere. Oh, which means we have to find the crew and break them out. Ah. Angry kobold noises.
Would you
Maybe
like me to
some of
try-
them just decided they weren't going to stay on the ship when they had leave and then went to the docks to go get on the ship and were smart enough not to get on the ship. What?
Didn't we have prisoners?
Yeah, but your prisoners would have all been below deck.
I hope someone's been feeding them.
I was just going to say that.
It's fine.
Well,
I'm sure that they eat in their prison. I mean, not as good as they eat in our prison, but they eat.
let's try and scry on the ship then.
All right. Do you have any components of the ship I can use?
Between you and Mr. Lachlan, somebody's got to have something stupid from our ship.
Hey, I have stupid medical supplies. I don't have various knickknacks.
I'm not saying knick-knack. You said knick-knack. But y'all collect some weird shit.
Looking through my inventory. Hold on. Because I do have some weird shit.
What about your mechanical friend?
Oh, yeah.
He possibly
also
is-
would have some weird shit.
Do you like me to summon your mechanical friend to see if he has anything?
Why not?
Zypher calls out in the ancient undercommon to one of the guards, who snaps to attention, gives a short bow, and rushes off. And about 15 minutes later, comes back in holding a massive stack of books and is followed by Halstrom and Brutus.
You have summoned me? Question mark.
Yes. Period.
Also question mark.
Yes. Your crew is attempting to have me scry on your ship. Do you have anything of significance of the ship itself? Since they seem to believe that you believe that your ship has sentience.
It is not sentience in a sense. For the sentient machine is an abomination and affront to the machine god. But the machine spirit is a separate entity.
Yep.
Do you have something or not?
Yes. There are some pieces of the ship that I was hoping to upgrade once we get back in. I have it in my inventory. One moment. Halstrom just carefully sets the books down.
Oh, the guard has been carrying all of the books.
Oh, good. I so just like so many books, testing this man's strength.
This man is carrying a stack of books taller than he is. He's doing pretty good.
That's honestly impressive, considering how heavy books can get.
He's definitely struggling a little bit, but you can tell he's very dedicated to this job. Like he wants to do a good job. He's trying to impress his boss.
Brutus is standing at the guy's side, just waiting to catch books as they fall.
But yes, Halstrom will pull out a piece from his inventory to give to Zypher.
Who gestures you over and holds his hand out for the thingy.
He gives it to him, just delicately puts it in his hand with his mechadendrite.
Zypher kind of looks at it and looks at you. You're a strange man, Halstrom. Before putting his focus on the object.
A strange man in a strange world.
Strange. And with almost a performative flourish of his hand, Zypher summons a silver mirror and begins to scry on the object. And his eyes begin to glow, and so does the mirror as he sets it down. As it begins to glow, he sets it down in the center of the table so everyone can see. And the object that he's holding, the part from the ship, is also glowing. And then, with a brilliant flash of light, almost projected above the mirror, is a foresty scene where your ship has definitely been impounded.
What have they done to her?
It does not appear they've done anything besides stick her on the land.
Oh no, I was running an experiment. Oh, it's gonna smell so bad. Oh.
Have you tried refrigeration?
Your ship appears to be entirely intact, and it also appears that it's located towards the west of the city. There appears to be an impound lot right by the main entrance gate. Wow. I really should reinvade there at some point. This is almost too easy.
Can you tell if any portholes are open by Mr. Laughlin's territory? Just in case we need to air the ship out.
Zypher kind of holds up a couple fingers and he kind of rotates and zooms a little bit, fully manipulating this image, and he just kind of spins the ship and just definitely appears that something has been aired out. It appears that all of the windows and portholes on your ship have been opened, and it appears there's a tentacle sticking out of one. Also, do you have a dragon?
No.
Nope. Not at all.
You're all terrible liars.
I beg to differ.
Can beg.
I do not
Zypher
personally have a dragon, sir. Not me.
Zypher
Don't
zooms
join a
way
dragon.
in on the scry and shows Gin sitting there in his treasure hoard.
Are you gonna believe me or your lion eyes?
Technically, we do not own him. He is his own person.
Yeah,
Wasn't
it's
he
not my
supposed to
dragon.
head home?
Apparently, he didn't listen.
Was what
Also,
he
now they
wanted.
know we have a dragon at the city? Question mark?
Maybe he snuck back in after it was impounded.
Maybe.
It is his gold.
I mean, what dragon? That's obviously a puppy with wings.
And scales and horns.
Augie, might I suggest you get augmetics for your eyes? They need them badly.
Things have changed above ground, Lord Zypher. Evolution.
I just say, when we get back to the ship, no one go in my med bay until I have.
Don't worry, I avoid that place on a normal basis.
Yeah, but you're the first person that needs to go so we can reset that crooked ass tail.
Leave my tail alone!
All right.
Captain Scratch is a very quick procedure. Painless too if I give you the drugs.
Your balance is going to be off. It's almost like your dexterity modifier should go down.
I mean, it can't go
The
down much
modifier?
further than it is.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a 1?
Oh no, actually it's a 3.
It can be a negative, buddy.
I digress. Your ship is safe. It's in one piece, and it has apparently just been brought on land. As I assume this is one of those airships, most likely fine. However, if you wish for me to investigate on your crew, I'm not going to be any assistance for that.
Neither will we, because we don't have anything in there. Unless, looks at Halstrom suspiciously.
I'm not the one who collects samples of the crew.
Mr. Lachlan, don't you have like a book with a lock of everybody's hair or something?
I do, but I don't carry it with me. That is kept in my safe. It's confidential. I also have blood samples of all of you. Except for Halstrom. You bleed oil.
Have a
Yes,
chest.
my oxygen-requiring blood has been filtered through my mechanical heart. Beats with oil and coolant.
I mean, I could find our prisoners. I have the box that has all the little vials of blood in it. But we don't need the prisoners.
No, it's not worth getting those guys.
You're just going to abandon your crew?
No, the prisoners.
The
No.
prisoners, yes. The crew, no.
Did we ever drop off that one heretical pirate?
No.
We did now.
I can still turn him into a servitor for the crew if you need.
No.
How close is the hold to the med bay?
Oh, I'm sure they took everybody off of it before they moved the ship.
Yeah.
I would offer to work something out with the New Thean government to get the ship unimpounded, but since I had my family's noble status revoked, pretty sure I cut all ties with them. Sorry.
Don't worry.
We got
know.
men.
We got a connection.
The highest of ends.
Scratch pulls his top hat from the party out of his bag.
I forgot you had the top hat.
There's like the top of it is open like a can of beans.
It's kind of squished. It's been in the bag.
A little bit battered.
Now, if you need help tracking people down within the city, that I can help with. Whenever we get there.
All right, Operation Reclaim the boat.
Sunshine. Operation Vitamin D.
I said stop worrying about Opal.
Mr. Scratch.
Ah,
It's not going to happen.
I'm just gonna lean over and whisper quietly enough that only people right next to Augie would hear. If you are going to become sexually active, you should probably come by for a checkup, just to make sure everything is.
Not on your fucking life. Excuse my French.
well, I'm gonna go back to the quarters I was given and get some rest.
GTFO.
Yes, rest.
How can you sleep when we're so close to being above ground again? Look how pale I've gotten.
Well, if we were to go up there right now, you still wouldn't get any sunlight. Nighttime.
Oh, yes, Augie, you look positively gray.
A different kind of gray. I'm usually a warm gray. Now I'm a neutral gray.
Meanwhile, Kyrius is over there like death. Looks like deathly sick.
Deathly pale, sallow skinned, grumpily eating fruit.
I personally can't wait for Rain to describe the outfits that she made Augie with the tailor.
Oh, yes,
boy.
speaking of our shipments.
Yes. Do you
I'm about
want
to look like fucking Underworld mixed with Tomb Raider.
Would you like your souvenirs?
Yes. Do
I
you
ordered a
sell
number of
magnets? Ooh,
I
how about
ordered a
shot
number.
glasses?
Interesting potions, and I can't wait to see what they do.
Oh, your shop purveyors were quite accommodating.
I'm delighted to hear that.
Tee hee.
But yes, there is a cart labeled for Rain and Augie available downstairs if you'd like to go investigate it. Otherwise, you are welcome to head back to your rooms. Food, drink, clean, whatever can be provided for you.
And if you have time later, could I arrange a private audience to discuss that alliance?
He smiles at you, Rain, and just kind of rests his chin on his hand. My dear, I would be delighted.
Nobody's gonna joke
Wonderful.
about her private alliance. But
No,
I just didn't
joke
have a
wasn't
chance
there.
yet.
say vitamin D and the world erupts.
The joke isn't there yet.
Aki, I'd be more than happy to schedule a private alliance with you as well if you have anything you can offer me. But for now, your dear Rain has some very important connections to me. I'm not sure what you mean.
Nothing. It's okay.
Sorry.
I'm looking to marry into the family anyway.
just for the record, Scratch has already walked away.
Don't be jealous, Scratch. I'm sure he has some cousins.
Well, for that, you should ask Rylan. Pretty sure that he keeps track of everyone's souls or something on that weird map of him. His.
I don't know why that surprises me. Genuinely, I don't.
I'm surprised you don't have a system like that, Zypher.
Why would I need it?
Curiosity. It looks like you had a lot of time on your hands.
I have had more time on my hands than any sane or insane person should. Allow me to assure you, I have no need for a map that tracks souls. All of the souls I care about exist in my kingdom. With one
Actually,
exception.
that might not be a bad project for you. When you're getting, back in touch with your people, making a big map of your kingdom that tracks everyone's souls and their locations.
That seems tedious.
Are you
and the
kidding?
fox-
For a wizard, that would be so fun.
You and the fox masked one are determined to have me reconnect with my brother, aren't you?
Oh, I didn't say anything about your brother. Unless you want to find out how he did the map thing. I figured you'd have a lot more fun figuring out on your own. I mean, research.
Fair enough. It has been a while since I've explored my own archives. I have to keep the cats out of the back areas. They get stuck. Poor little things.
The one thing I'm gonna miss are those damn cats.
I mean, if there's one that you're particularly attached to, you can take them with you.
They've all turned me down.
Well, how are you approaching them? Are you approaching them to have them come to you, or are you going to them, or are you letting them come to you? That you have to be very particular with cats.
The trick
With
is
love
copious
and
tree.
adoration and anime eyes.
You have to let them come to you. You have to let them be comfortable with you. You have to let them want to be around you.
And bribes don't hurt either.
Bribes definitely help.
Do they
If
like
you
to be
don't ask
bribed?
too many questions, I can make some undead cats.
No, I will ask questions. And I do not want the answers, so let's just say nope.
Not all of my cats are undead.
You have living cats?
Yes, of course. Who do you think I tested the immortality on? Myself? Are you insane?
Oh my god, I want an immortal cat. I want a cat that has to be passed down through the ages from generation to generation.
That ghost cat is actually very cute.
Augie, as you and Rain are talking about the cats, Rain, you mentioned the ghost cat. One floats through one of the walls and just comes over and just starts to make biscuits on Zypher's lap.
Augie just sheds a couple tears.
I just have to check. On Zypher's lap or through Zypher's lap?
On his lap.
Huh.
Like, you
Impressive.
actually see the cat, like, messing, like, with his clothes. Like, it's actually able to touch his clothing when it probably shouldn't be able to.
Somewhere off in the distance, there's a words being said. No more pets on my ship.
And
Scratch.
everybody is ignoring it.
Scratch is getting this impending sense of doom that he's about to be overrun by cats.
Hey, technically, a ghost cat would not shed.
Also, cats are good on ships because it takes care of rat problems from port.
Ghost rats.
Yeah, ghost rats. What were you talking about?
Any cat, any rat the cat kills turns into a ghost rat.
Yep.
And then the
And
ghost
then
rat
we have the
kills-
ghost cat to take care of the ghost rat. So we need a live cat and a ghost cat. Case closed.
What happens when the ghost rats are eliminated? Do their souls just stop existing?
The ghost
They
cat
all go-
absorbs them and becomes all powerful.
Poof. And a little squeak.
Augie, if you did want to see the sunlight, I think I've worked out my cloak.
Oh, I wish that we would have done that a couple days ago because I know that tonight I will be spending it sitting very still waiting for a cat to come.
Augie is so determined to get a cat, and I love this.
First she's after. Never mind.
Well, if anyone has any injuries or maladies that need tending to, you know where I am. I am going to head off to bed now. Good night.
Yes, yes. Get all the jokes out about how I was eager for the vitamin D and now I'm just waiting around for the pussy.
Yep.
There it
See,
is.
that one was there. That joke was there.
Get it all out.
That's what she said.
I'm
That's
gonna
what
go
she
look
said.
for the potions.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to follow Rain because I am intrigued with my, like, one of the first times in my life that I've gotten new clothes.
Kyries probably would have headed out soon after Lachlan did.
Oh my god, and the spices for food.
Yurei, are you hanging around at all?
Yeah, Yura is probably going to hang around with the Zypher in case he had any more
information on how to avoid getting cooed.
There's a YouTube video he could watch about how to start a coup.
And then follow the opposite steps.
Exactly. How to avoid a coup in 7 easy steps.
Step 1: imprison all your subjects.
No, and angering the population is how you get yourself a prime cooing target.
Step 1: enchant all your subjects.
Step 2: unleash a mad wizard on them.
Before we sleep, and of course after other people have some things that they're trying to do, there is something I like to do a scratch when everyone else has had some fun.
All right.
So, no rush, no rush.
All right. So, Lachlan, you went to bed. Hyreus would also
Yes.
probably go to bed. Alstrom, would you go back to the library with Brutus, or would Brutus go with Lachlan?
Brutus would be hopping along at Halstrom's side, excitedly talking about all of the new words he's learning as he's attempting to read the books.
Very good.
Hellstrom's just gonna keep learning.
Okay. Halstrom also has now commandeered a guard into being his other book holder.
Fantastic.
And
More research assistants.
I'm just gonna roll a Constitution for Brutus to see how late he can stay up, because he's been up for about 20 hours at this point, I think.
Yeah, he's doing fine. He's not doing fine.
He gets back to the library and he sees one of the sofas and just goes, "Oh," and walks over to the sofa and then flops on the floor before it.
Has one of those, I'll just snooze for 5 minutes and then sleeps for 12 hours.
Yeah, but doesn't even make it to the couch. Just like thump, snoring.
All right. So, Ray and Augie, you guys went to the clothes for the shipments for stuff.
Yes.
Okay, I will start with you guys. So you make your way down, and after checking with a couple guards for directions, you are directed into one of the. It's almost kind of. You're out by the kitchen, and there appears to be like a loading dock with a cart kind of off to the side, with what you can only assume is your names written on it in Ancient Undercommon. Rain, you know for sure that these are your names written on the side of this. Augie, you have no idea.
There.
Yep, that's us right there.
How can you tell?
At this point, do you really need to ask?
Nope. Nope.
So you make your way over, and there are 2 carts, one of which has food in it, and Rain, you see that that's actually labeled for Kyrius. It has
Okay.
different provisions and supplies.
Sneak a peek to see if he got any kind of herbs or spices.
You see that he got more garlic, more onion, more salt, more pepper, and some more kind of your basic ration materials.
Pretty basic.
Who
I'm
told
very
this
glad that we
man
got
about
what-
food?
I'm very glad that we got those spices.
I hope everybody is. We're gonna have to plant some herbs and stuff on deck.
I've never tried to grow anything before. That'd be a fun experiment.
Oh, it's really not that hard as long as the weather's accommodating.
And as you guys are going through things, Rain, everything that you have, like you see, is very neatly labeled, including
Yes.
your weird ass potions. They are very like an almost delicate handwriting, labeled as healing potions. And that's all they say.
That's all they say. Is there a note with my special potion?
Yes, there is a note that says caution. volatile, tasty.
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 That's concerning.
And then there's the clothes that you ordered in there. There are pouches of spices that are all labeled, and everything is organized. You see things are kind of sectioned out from the different vendors, but everything is all connected to everything is all collected together.
Excellent. And while I will not describe the clothes, they should pop up in one of the art channels on the Discord at some point, because I'm going to design all of them.
Excellent. Quick shameless plug. If you're not already checking out our Discord, make sure to check it out for amazing fan art and references. Check us out for all the fun things that we do. Duo Gaming. I'm shameless. All right. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to do?
Can I make an Arcana check to try to determine exactly what the special potions do?
Yes, go for it. So, you notice that there are 3 different kinds of these special potions. One you notice is it's almost like a healing potion. Just the energy that you're getting from it is revitalizing, but you don't quite think it's fully a healing potion. There is another one that definitely seems to be fire magic. It's red, and when you look at it, it is definitely like something. There is fire in this bottle. You're not 100% sure if you drink it, what will happen, but there is for sure fire in this bottle.
I look forward to trying that. And the third one?
The third one is the opposite. It's so cold. At first, you thought it was more fire, but you realize it's ice.
Huh. Okay.
This bottle, as you're holding it, you don't feel it, but you notice that a couple of the areas that it had been sitting on are burned almost because of how cold it is.
Freezer burn. Awesome.
Frostbite, freezer burn, all that fun stuff. The fire potion, you notice that the wood, if you were to touch your hand from where it was sitting, is warm but not singed.
Okay. I'm gonna tuck all of my special ones into my personal bag.
And was there anything else you guys wanted to look for specifically? Anything you guys wanted to do over here? Or are you heading back inside? Augie, is there anything you're looking for besides the spices?
Augie's just kind of like taking a mental inventory, and then is going to find a place that in their mind cats would like, and camp out there with a book.
Okay. Roll me a history. Okay. There are a few places you have seen the cats wander around the most. One is the library, one is Zypher's throne room, and the other is the dining room. Those seem to be the most common places to see the cats just wandering around.
I camp out in the dining room and hope I can get a cup of tea.
Okay. And yeah, a couple servers check on you once in a while. One will bring you a cup of tea. One will bring you like a sandwich or something at some point. And as your time goes on, as you're sitting and you're enjoying your book, a cat does in fact come up to you. It's a little calico cat, only about 8 pounds, and it hops up on the table and starts sniffing at your tea.
Just let it go until it shows any interest in me.
Are you just gonna let it kind of play with your tea?
Yeah, I'm just gonna let it do its thing, and I'll probably take some like little jerky bits out of my pocket and kind of sprinkle them next to the tea, and
Okay.
just kind of make a little pile with a blanket next to me in case it likes to be comfortable.
You bring your hand up to kind of sprinkle some of the jerky bits out, and it just kind of looks at you and then watches what you're doing. And it kind of looks up at you and kind of sniffs at the jerky, and you see it starts to nibble on it a little bit. And then when you set the blanket out, it comes over and it tries to climb into your lap.
That happened for sure.
You let it climb into your lap.
Yep.
Excellent. Yep. It does, and it starts to try to make biscuits on your armor.
I look at Rolo and I'm like, what do I do? And I say, I'm so sorry, Mr. / Miss / Mix Cat, but it's not hold on. And I like scramble to like take off the chest plate part. And I'm like, I don't want to scare it, so that I stop, and then I like take the blanket and kind of put it over my armor so it has something to make biscuits on.
It kind of you know how cats will kind of like quietly grumble at you when you're trying to move?
Yes.
It does that as you try to as you adjust everything, and then it just kind of resettles down and it starts to make biscuits on the blanket.
Oh. And I don't move for a very long time, and then if it seems like it's quite complacent, I might just like get out my book and then go about my night.
Oh yeah, it falls asleep pretty quick on you, and it just kind of it seems like it would be a war crime to try to move this cat at this point.
Yeah, Augie probably is like crying, but stays there all night so as to not disturb.
Adorable. Rain, what are you doing?
I would go to my meeting with Zypher.
Okay, so I will actually pause on your meeting. Augie is spending time with their new best friend. Scratch has been replaced. And we will switch over to Yurei. Yurei, you had watched as everyone else had filtered out, leaving you and Zypher alone, who hadn't really paid much attention until after a minute he kind of looks up and he just, oh, you're still here. Why?
Figured we could do a review of the notes I had given you.
Or like every terrible schoolmaster I've had. Fine, teacher, bring out the note cards. And he just pinches the bridge of his nose. But Yurei, you see just a little bit of a smile on his face. And you get the impression that as much as he's grumbling about this, he's actually rather pleased to have someone willing to help him with this. And you're not just blowing him off, or you're not just telling him, hey, do the shit, idiot. He's actually rather pleased to have someone helping.
Someone who's more than just a yes man?
Yeah.
All right, as you know, one of the big things to keeping a happy kingdom is public relations. I mean, aside from you already got a good economy, well, don't have to worry about famine, so the main thing is now just letting the people know you're here. that you care.
Forgive the idiotic question, but isn't it already obvious that I care? My people are cared for. The economy is thriving. My people are safe.
Humanoids, mortals, as you know, tend to take things for granted.
I wouldn't know. I'm not mortal.
Yes, but you were once. When something has become mundane, it just seems like an everyday part of the world. So the peace here, the plentiful food, the commerce, it is all just normal to them now. They don't see it as your hard work. They just see it as is.
So, are you saying I should induce a famine to...
Not at all. No, no, no. Forgive me for interrupting you, but that is not the lesson I am trying to teach here.
No, you are the teacher in this moment. I will forgive your intrusions. And you notice that he's kind of smirking again, and you definitely get the feeling that he wouldn't be mad at you at this point anyway, but he's just kind of playing along.
This one's going to sound silly. Does this kingdom of yours have any festivals or celebrations?
Oh yes, every year we have at least 3. Very.
Are you ever there for them?
Well, yes, I make appearances, and give grand speeches, present awards, and then usually I go home.
You just give the speech and go home. You don't participate.
Not normally, no.
That might be an issue. They probably just see you as a distant king. Or maybe even at worst, a figurehead.
So, are you saying I should play games with my people? I don't mean to sound blunt. Actually, that's entirely a lie. I absolutely mean to sound blunt at any given moment. Are you suggesting that I act as a commoner? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I have things I have to do to maintain the infrastructure of my kingdom. I can't afford to take time to play games, as it were.
If not play games, at least join in on the well, beyond just festivities, at least stick around for the festivals. Enjoy the shows. You say that you are there for them, but it sounds like the people don't even know you're there.
I suppose it could be construed that way. Oh, things were so much easier when I was a dictator.
Unfortunately, dictatorship is the easy road.
Really is. Honestly, ruling the entire world is not with an iron fist was probably one of the easiest things I've ever done. Trying to do this, running this kingdom without that is rather difficult.
Trying to run it the correct way is much harder.
Yeah. I suppose we do have a festival coming up. My people call it Liberation Day. I suppose it wouldn't kill me to at least hang around. If this is what your professional advice is as far as restabilizing my kingdom.
Maybe give some speeches. Let the people know that you care.
Any other deep, wise advice for me, almighty teacher?
A little underhanded one is maybe keep an eye out for invaders. You have a good guard regiment, but do you have anything for spy work?
No, I've never needed it.
I said you have people coming in from the outside to import. As bad as it sounds, getting a merchant's license is really easy.
Really is.
I know it sounds like I'm harping on, but your brother does have a very good web. I should know. My grandfather learned from his teachings.
You are correct. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to at least reach out. Perhaps that can be something explored at a later date. For now, however, I have a meeting to prepare for, and you, most likely, should be preparing to rest before you leave tomorrow.
Yes, rest and relaxation is important. I do have a report to write up to my master.
He just kind of cocks an eyebrow at you. Yes, this master you speak of.
In Thieves' Cant, he's just gonna say, "Look, we both know you know who I am. I have a face. I have to keep appearances."
And Zypher's going to reply in Thieves' Cant. Not around me. If anyone's going to see through your bullshit, it's going to be me.
Old habits die hard.
Fair enough. But yes, Yurei. Rest, relax, write your report to your master. Prepare tomorrow. I assume at least some point you've studied shadow magic.
I have been understanding the basics of it. I can summon a magical blade from the darkness.
Right.
Have not learned to teleport myself yet.
Well, as long as you and your group have done it at least once, this should be slightly less uncomfortable.
With our discussions finished, Lord Zypher, I shall bid you good night. Is it night?
Close enough.
Good evening.
Good to get into the evening on the surface, so evening is fine.
Sweet. With that, Yurei will retire to his room.
And as you exit Yurei, you see Tamsin walking in.
Who?
Not you. Not Tamsin. God. I keep thinking Tamsin the player. I keep thinking the player name, not the character name.
Tanzanite.
Yes, Tamsin. Yeah, absolutely. You see Rain walking in. I keep getting everybody's player names confused with
And their usernames.
Yes, like the player names and the character names flip-flopped. You see Rain walking in. Does anybody say anything?
I'm just gonna kind of wave to him.
He gives a polite bow, or a polite nod.
And yes, Rain, you come into the same study that you'd been in before. You see Zypher holding a paper with some notes on it, just looking very thoughtful. He's almost spacing out.
Okay.
Good night.
Hi, doggy.
Hi.
And he doesn't say anything as you enter Rain, but you see he looks up to see you and then just goes back to looking at the page that he's holding.
Okay. He's acknowledging me. I'm just gonna wait.
Okay. It takes just a couple minutes, and he folds up the note and slides it into his pocket, adjusts a couple things, and looks up at you. Thank you for coming, Rain. I do appreciate it.
Oh no, thank you for hearing me out. My patron wanted me to let you know that whether or not you accept the alliance, no hard feelings. He's not one to make enemies where he doesn't have to, as I'm sure you'll understand.
Oh, yes. What ruler doesn't know when to make alliances and even avoid them? So. And forgive my commentary earlier. I have been informed by one of my associates that it may not be prudent to speak of things others may not know.
Well, you know, when people learn that you're related to someone who may have committed great atrocities in the past, of course, may commit them in the future, it's not something that they react to well. Now, if you're an immediate relative, it's infinitely worse.
Yes, I suppose that could be difficult. And you notice that he actually kind of looks almost sheepish or embarrassed for just a moment. before
Just a
he
moment.
schools his face. Now, I've asked you here to discuss terms of our alliance. And as you would be speaking as the representative of your patron, I felt you would be one of the best.
I am currently his only representative that I know of on this plane.
Excellent. And so, to be blunt, I want to know what benefits I will gain from this alliance. One such as myself, ruler of my own domain, master of my own magic. What could you and yours offer me?
Well, access to more magic, of course. Infernal magic, to be precise. Something that you may not have experimented much with in the past. Freely given, no pact or deal required. And he did mention something about setting up a permanent portal for if you were interested.
I suppose that would be quite interesting. And besides just a permanent portal, what would be expected on my end? You say no deals, no pacts. What is your patron expecting to receive?
The only thing that he really wants from you is, if you're approached by anyone who is his enemy, to tell them to go right back to hell. That's all. Of course, he's also a big fan of yours and would love to actually get to know you, in which case he would phrase the alliance as a friendship.
And if I was to tell him that I'm no longer in the business of ruling as I once was, what would his response be to that? And I have no interest in seeing another upon a throne such as mine, and would take active interest in avoiding that.
Oh, he's well aware and perfectly fine with that. He doesn't need any sort of military might or aid from you at all, nor does he expect you to change anything about your current ruling status, now or in the future.
Even on the surface.
15.
Even on the surface. That's what I'm for, apparently.
Fair enough. Is there a way that I can contact him? I will need to think on this. It is a very promising opportunity, but all angles must be considered, as I'm sure you understand.
I had thought about that. Exactly how far away can Mini Zypher be from you?
Honestly, I have no idea. You lot are the first experiment we've ever done with such.
Well, if you'd be willing to continue that experiment and send him, then that could be a potentially viable means of communication. If not, I'm sure there's plenty of other ways.
True. I have no issues with it. I will warn you that as a fragment of my soul, Mini Zypher does have a collection of powers. However, they are most likely going to be greatly diminished on the surface. At the most, he will most likely be able to be used for communication and potentially minor cantrips. I doubt he'll be able to do anything serious.
I had no intention of using him. In fact, just having him with us in your old castle, I came to see him as a valued little companion. He's actually quite adorable. I've become attached, you might say.
And he just kind of studies you for a moment, Tams. And Zypher just kind of, as he's just kind of watching you see his hand starts to glow, and he kind of reaches into his chest again, as he had done previously when summoning Mini Zypher, and you see that he actually pulls out a glowing chunk of something. You're not 100% sure what it is,
Can I make an Arcana check?
Please do.
Oh,
You, you have no
I have
idea.
no fucking clue.
Not a clue. And he just kind of proffers it out to you. If you would summon Mini Zypher.
I call out to Mini Zypher.
And you watch as he materializes out of this thing that Zypher's holding, and you watch as this chunk of something is fully absorbed into Mini Zypher, and he looks more corporeal than you'd ever seen him.
I'm watching avidly.
And Mini Zypher is still floating, and he currently still doesn't have legs when he's floating, but he goes over and he kind of goes down to the table and he picks up one of the pages. Now has feet. As he approaches the table, he grows feet. And you actually are able to see him interact with the world in a way he's never been able to before. And then after a minute, he just kind of comes over and flies up and just kind of hovers and then sits on your shoulder, and you feel no weight.
Huh. That was fascinating.
Now, you don't have to worry about trying to summon him from me. I've now bound him to you, and so now when you summon him or dismiss him, he will come from you. You will feel no drain on your magic, no drain on your soul. However, he is connected to you until you ask me to remove him, you die, or I die.
We really need to add the last part as a clause in that.
Would you prefer to not have him around?
Oh, nope, I'm good.
Should I die, Mini Zypher will also disappear. Should you die, Mini Zypher will appear before me. And should you come back to me and wish him gone, I can sever the bond.
Well, I don't think that last part will happen.
Nor do I.
I'll take good care of him.
I have no doubt, and as I'm sure you figured out, he eats magic, so just make sure he's fed. If you dismiss him,
No problem there.
He will use no power. He will passively absorb magic from things around you. You will notice very little drain unless it's the only magical source around him, but your lot positively reek of magic.
Yeah. I mean, letter or no letter, it's no surprise I was interested in them, right?
Letter? Oh, that's right. A lot of you received letters regarding.
Well, technically, mine just told me to appear at the wedding and I'd see interesting results.
Yes, all of you were connected through letters, weren't you? And you see him smirking again.
Sent mine to my patron for analysis.
Have you received any feedback?
Sadly, nothing understandable. And I would relay the response that I had received, including the garbled part.
Yep. Zypher just chuckles. He doesn't say anything. He just laughs. Yes, that is about what I expected.
I imagine it's one of those things where it'll all be made clear to us eventually.
Unfortunately, my dear, this particular mystery, I doubt will ever be fully revealed to you.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Fear not. It's nothing you need to worry about, nothing you need to stress about. No strife will come your way. It's just a very particular instance of a very particular spell.
Cast by apparently someone known to both you and my patron.
Rain, as far as spoken languages, do you know, is it just Elvish you speak?
No. I also speak Common and infernal.
Okay. Zypher mumbles something under his breath. You don't know what he's saying, but you notice that he's got a very particular. He almost looks. I don't want to say mad, but he almost looks like he's just lost a bet.
Peeved.
That is the word I was going for. Peeved. Thank you.
I just kind of raise an eyebrow.
Nothing you need to concern yourself with. Now, any other business you would like to conduct with me tonight, or should you go prepare for your journey tomorrow?
The latter, most definitely. Take as long as you need to think over the alliance. You can reach me at any time now.
I will contact you when I have made my decision. And then he just kind of goes back to going over the maps, and you get the sense you've been dismissed.
Yes, I will bow politely, mirroring Yurei before, and excuse myself.
Good. Yes, unless there's any other last-minute things that need to be done, I say we call it for tonight.
Did you see my message to Yume?
Yes, I did, and I will get a response drafted, and I'll send it out.
Cool.
I'll send it to you. Anything else?
I think that's everything that I need to do tonight.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yurei or Hallstrom?
What's up?
Anything else you got to do?
Nope, not at all.
All right. Then I will go ahead and lead us out. Make sure to check out our YouTube, our TikTok, our Discord. Obviously, give us a follow on Twitch. Make sure to comment your favorite moments from the episodes. Leave some timestamps for what you think the best moments are. Anything fun, anything exciting, anything entertaining. And make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, do the things, engage with us so we can engage with you. We can tell the stories you want to hear, and we can have fun doing it together. And every story has 20 sides. Roll for yours.
Close.
God, I knew I'd put you.